Welcome to Capacity Chat, and today I'm talking to one of our managing consultants, Siegfried Langer. Ziggy, thanks for joining me here. It's a pleasure to always sit with you.
Yeah.
And today we're talking about well-being, and they say well-being is three components. Usually it's self-esteem, happiness, and optimism. And they define self-esteem in a very interesting way, Crocker and Major. They talk about the idea that self-esteem is defined as feeling of self-worth or adequacy as a person, or generalized feeling of self-acceptance, goodness, and self-respect. There are a lot of words.
Yeah, they are.
There are a lot of words.
Yeah.
You mind sharing more light with us on maybe start with well-being and then go into the three things they talk about: happiness, self-esteem, as well as optimism.
So I think today, if we focus on self-esteem itself, self-esteem is such a big concept. A lot of people make the mistake to think that an individual that is very prideful and is all full of himself has a high self-esteem. But that's not always the case. Self-esteem is really where I am okay with who I am. I know that I'm worthy. I know that I'm good enough. I can bring myself to the table, basically, and I can be confident in that. But I don't need to be overwhelming, overbearing. I don't need to kind of push others down to become better myself.
So if I hear you correctly, you're saying being pompous and being full of yourself. In other words, if you bring somebody else down for you to be seen as if you're above, that's not self-esteem.
No, that's definitely not self-esteem. On the contrary, that is a sign of low self-esteem, because I only need to push others down if I am fearful that they are higher than me.
Okay.
So if my self-esteem is high, I am more able to accept others, to allow them to thrive as who they are, and even be glad about it. Because I don't need to prove that I'm better than them. I am just me.
So you're saying if that's the nature of the person's behavior, it's probably to some extent compensatory, if I get what you're saying correctly, because you're trying to compensate for something you don't have.
Yeah.
And I follow social media a lot. Well, I'm a millennial, so it would be right if I don't.
Yeah.
And there's this trend that you see a lot. I post a picture and I say, I am doing me. I'm a confident young man. Is that self-esteem? Is that a projection of self-esteem, or?
I think if I look at the culture we're living in, it's twofold. On the one side, I find that it's a expectation that is out there that we should portray this wonderful superhuman being where everything is just perfect, and a lot of fakeness comes in there, and a lot of show play. So people are not really themselves, and the low self-esteem would really push people to be over the top with that. Where somebody that has good self-esteem, I'm so encouraged by some of the social media high life people, the ones that you follow. There are so many of them that are real. I love those people. The ones that are not real, I mean, let's be honest. We all see through them and we chuckle and we think, they're a bit silly. But the ones that are real are those that every now and then you would see them actually sharing stuff that aren't not as cool.
I saw a post recently which talking about self-esteem, self-confidence, and feeling adequate. It said, don't make yourself feel inadequate because of what you see on social media. Not everybody is posting their failures, so that's something interesting. Maybe you want to touch on a little bit of happiness and then you call it a day, maybe.
Yeah. So happiness is probably one of the most misunderstood topics, which I'd really love to chat with you on next time. It is misunderstood in that a lot of people drive towards happiness, but very few people actually know exactly what happiness is all about. So I'd really like to spend some time with you looking into that in more detail. I believe the father of positive psychology had a lot to say about it, so I'd love to share some of that insight with you.
So maybe the difference between happiness with an I and happiness with a Y, maybe we can frame it as that next time. Thanks, Ziggy, for joining us here on Capacity Chat. There you have it, folks. We're talking everything about self-esteem, and well-being is the main topic we're discussing. So do join us next time. Remember, all we do is we build capacity you can trust.